Welcome back, YouTube. Title of this video, Doge is caught in the middle of bullishness because of where we are right now with price action. We're actually at a very interesting point. You guys know that I love to track the MAs and kind of compare them to what we've seen before, even on previous trends. And even if you take a look here, where we've come from, which is pretty much around like the 10-cent range, even as far as down as like 9 cents. And we're trending along this trend line. It looks like we are getting some price action friction here between the 200 and the 72 day. But if you take a look back over here in February, this was a pretty bullish zone here. Last time we were here, we were able to kind of get through it relatively quickly. And then again, when we came in this range back in March, we were able to get through it relatively quickly. Same thing in May. So I do expect us to get through this range relatively quickly. It has not given us much trouble when going to the upside, really at any point this year. Once we were able to get here, I'm not saying that we are not going to have like red candles, but we are certainly. This certainly has been a range where Doge has been able to climb decently. So what I mean by stuck in the middle is because right now Doge is this red line. Let me zoom in. This red line is where we are resting at roughly around the 200 day. Let me see if I can highlight it right here. So this is roughly where we are, right on the 200 day. Right above it, this orange line is the 72. Right. So this is kind of what is, if you look here at this green candle, this is kind of what's pushing us down here. It's bouncing using 272 as a resistance, 200 as support. We did go above it, but not enough to touch the next fib line up here. But it was a pretty decent rejection here on the bottom side as well. So again, showing strength, and it looks like we're getting something similar today. But some of the indicators that I would look for is this 14, which is the yellow line here, coming up and crossing the 200. That is certainly bullish here for this aspect. And again, if we get this swoop of the 14 crossing the 200 and the 72, I don't see why we wouldn't have a problem with this 22 cents level and even going higher, right? So that's one of the things that I'm looking for here, is to kind of get like this golden cross here, like a golden cross with a capital G, right? Because there'll be two sweeps here, and that'll be a really strong indicator for the upside here. Even if you look at some of the past trends, as you guys know, this is something I pay very close attention to. Now, I'm not just painting that picture. Yes, I'm aware that the 72 days here, and if we consolidate it lower, we could get a even stronger death cross to the downside, which is the 72 crossing the 200. But again, that has not had the same effect as the coin going to the upside here. Because if you take a look here, even if we're at some of those stronger levels of support, we had like a 14 crossing the 72 here. And we did go down roughly, but it was around to like a 7 cents. But obviously the 14 crossing the 72 to the upside was a monstrous run. And if we take a look here, excuse me, again, we had the death cross 14 crossing 72 around April 27th, April 28th. And again, we did go down after that. And that was around like 12 cents. And this is where we were gearing up for the next cross here. This is one of the things that we were looking at back in May and June, was this next golden cross that could send us on the next leg up. So we could be seeing a repositioning here that's going to give us the next leg up. It's a little lower than where we were initially, but this range here could be where we get our next leg and even do that retest here on 22 cents. Because obviously after that, we'll see the strength of the movement, what's going on with Bitcoin, and kind of get an idea, so we can get like some projections here for where the next leg would conclude. I think that'll be very important here for determining the strength of the movement. What areas are we likely, or will be likely for like peak bull run, things like that. So I think that will be very important to see here on the next bull run. Same thing for Bitcoin. One of the things here, the bullishness, we've seen the cross here, the 14 and the 200, obviously very bullish here. And then with this price action, what we are going to see, which will probably give us the signal to retest the all-time high and possibly higher, is going to be right here with that 14 and 72 right here, right? So we're crossing this level here. That's going to give us a pretty good idea of The strength of the movement here. Again, if we have some consolidation, that's fine. But this will be a pretty strong signal here to possibly get us to retest some of these highs and get us back into that 70,000 plus range. So, and again, that's something we can use to kind of measure the strength of the movement overall in the market. I think that'll be very beneficial. So that's something I'll be looking forward to as well. And let's take a look here. I love looking at any divergence here before we switch over. You should be able to see coin market cap now. It says we're in greed. I don't know if I agree with that, but I can certainly see how the market could be becoming more bullish if you're looking at some of the things that's going on. But I don't know if I say necessarily we're in greed, but again, not my choice to make. Overall, market's up 0.98% today. Global market cap 2.41 trillion. We have green pretty much for, I say, about 7 out of the 10 coins that's in the top 10. You can really go as far as 8 if you're not gonna if you're gonna take out some stable coins. But Toncoin is down and Cardano is down. Doge is up. USD, XRP, Solana, BNB, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Similar patterns here. Ethereum is kind of doing its own thing. But again, that's what I was looking for, convergence here. At Bitcoin, BNB, Solana, XRP, and Doge are doing that mirror image dance they like to do, which is perfectly fine with me. Toncoin and Cardano are doing similar patterns as well, but it's to the downside. So this is, I'm going to take this opportunity. I know some people were asking what I mean by like convergence and divergence with top 10 and patterns. So what I like to do is see if there is a repositioning going on here. That's kind of how you gauge, whether, especially with institutional money, how you gauge the interest of the coin, right? How you gauge the portfolio allocation. Now, yes, it can go down, but typically those percentages will be adjusted. So no matter if it's going up or down, it should chart a very similar pattern if they are having similar exposure across the board. Now, when you see the divergence, which is like kind of like what you see here, the overwhelming majority of the top 10 coins are green and showing a very similar pattern. And then you see some coins here that are doing the complete opposite, but also showing a similar pattern. What you are witnessing is a portfolio shift, right? Portfolio reallocation, right? And this is obviously to the downside. So they're obviously pulling money out of these coins, but doing so in a way where the percentages are the same. So you're seeing very similar chart patterns, even though it's doing the opposite of what most of the top 10 coins are doing. So they're obviously pulling liquidity out of here. Where is it going to go? I don't know. It could be going into Bitcoin, Ethereum. That could be some revenue that's going to lead the catalyst here, so we can get some of those indicators here in the next few days. But this is evidence of a portfolio reallocation here. This is evidence here of a sell-off that is done more so on a big level, and it's not necessarily retail that's doing it. That's why I kind of look at these here, because it kind of gives me an idea of what the market makers are doing. So it's actually good to actually catch that, because it's rare you can catch it. Typically, when you're looking at it, they're all going to be doing the same thing. But to catch a divergence here in the top 10, I think this is maybe the first time I've caught it live. Typically, you'll see this kind of stuff like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, when it really turns red and you have the divergence in colors and stuff. This is obviously a 7-day chart, but this is good to catch it in this video. Let's take a look at one more thing, just to get an idea. Liquidations, all that good stuff. Oh, okay. Long short ratios. So the short ratios come down, no longer than 30%. 5 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, all 72% to 27%. 1 day, 73 to 26%. Open interest, as I mentioned in my last video, we want to get it somewhere around that $1 billion mark. So I'd say about 800 million or more. We're at 548 right now. That's when we're going to really start challenging some of those higher levels here, probably around that 18 to 22 cents range is when we're getting around that 800 million mark. That'll be a great push here. But we are recovering a lot of capital here. Again, just a week or so ago, we were around 100 million less. So we've increased around 100 million in open interest in the last week. So, definitely a change in the tides here for Doge. Let me see. Long short ratio, liquidations for the most part in the last 24 hours. Again, not all exchanges, but a few of the bigger ones. We have the long liquidations, 722.1 thousand, short 419.4, total of 1.1 million, perpetual and liquidations in the last 24 hours. So we are seeing let me go back to long short just to make sure. Yeah, so you're definitely seeing a swap here because even on the longs, they're still dominating, roughly 3-1, which is kind of where they like to rest. Unless we were seeing that downtrend, and it looks like they were trying to get it back into single digits the other week, and we were seeing short ratio creep up to over I think it was like 36%. It was like 60-40 or something there. But typically, you're going to see, at least during the bull run, you'll see around 3-1 ratio for long versus short. So you'll see like when they take out these options, you'll see swapping going on where this here will spike up 2 or 3% to around 75%, and then you'll see the longs do like a liquidation, and then they'll come back in and reposition themselves. So it's just a way that they can take profit here. And again, OI is down 1.7%. So yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at for the next few days is that indicator for Bitcoin to see if we can get that 1472 to cross and put us in position to hit that $73,000 mark for Bitcoin and give us that clear signal here that there's going to be some liquidity coming into the market. Same thing for Doge, in position to do back-to-back golden crosses here, which is going to be really powerful move. And again, I don't see why we wouldn't retest that around that 22 cents mark here for Doge. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to hear them. If you're beginning to, I know some of you were just on the wait and see mode, or if you're still, some of you may be turning bullish again. So if you are doing either of those, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. I appreciate all of you. Again, we still have time to hit that 100K, so please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.